I was about 18 and I had the same woman at roundabout, gone to set off, she's like half a car length, set off and then braked because she'd not checked, and I'm looking at roundabout and I roll forward. Literally, the screw on my number plate put a little dint in a bumper. She was saying whiplash and all that.
Yeah.
Well, I know I had a friend years ago, and he told me this, and I can't remember if it was him or another member of his family now, had been in an accident, and he basically went, oh yeah, the insurance company's paying out, and he started phoning around. He phoned his dad and his brother, I think it was. They said, "Oh, quick, get in."
I was in the car.
And then they went, "Oh yeah, we was in the car. We got whiplash, you know." And he wrote them both a check for $2,000 each.
Yeah, but it's minimum 1,500 quid though. Yeah. Minimum. So if the claim goes through, it's minimum 1,500 quid.
Really?
Yeah. And that's why people scam it, because it's a lot of money.
Yeah.
A few years back, he reminded me now, I bumped into the back of another cyclist actually, went in front of the car.
Got a thing for
it,
went in front of the car in front of me, he slammed on, and then I slowed down, I had loads of time to stop. Crack. So there was a hairline crack in his bumper. I told him I'd pay for it.
I don't like hairy crack.
4 weeks later, I get a letter saying he's going to claim. I had his phone number, so I rang him up. I was like, "You said you wasn't going to claim." I said I'd pay for it. So, you know, back then, 15 years ago, 200 quid to spray a bumper on a Mark IV Astra, and he's just gone for everything. Whiplash the lot. His missus went for whiplash. He went for whiplash. I think it was about 18 grand or something like that. Yeah, I remember it being like a lot. And then that was my insurance was screwed, you know, because it just bumps it up, doesn't it?
Yeah.
About 6 months later, I was in Asda, and I bumped it. I hope they're going to see this because I bumped into his missus, and she crashed a trolley into mine by accident. And I was like, "Careful, love!" I nearly put a claim in then.
I
bumped into her in Asda, and she just pushed a trolley into mine by accident, and she turned around and went, "Oh, sorry," and looked up, and it was me. And I was like, "Oh, careful, love."
Yeah.
I put a claim in. But this is the thing, they're not honest people. They were absolutely fine.
No.
They just look for the money.
Yeah.
The thing is, they don't think of it, what the other effect is. Like, I think my insurance went up from that 17 grand one was probably about, well, I was young, so it was probably about £110 a month. I think next year I was paying £250 a month.
Yeah, more than doubled.
£250.
But they don't mind.
No.
They've had
Oh, they got an holiday out. They got a nice holiday or whatever out in it, didn't they?
She said to me that the person she had a crash with last time had no insurance and drove off. So now she just absolutely stung me for her.
Yeah,
last
trying to get double.
Yeah.
Usually no claims, don't you? And
Yeah.
But no, they're always out to try and get you for something, aren't they?
Yeah.
But
I got hit and run at the beginning of this year.
Is you?
Yeah.
do you want a bank?
No, mate, no.
What time was it?
Was it me? Was it a white thing?
I think it was, you know. No, coming up, it goes from 2 lanes to 1. I'm driving up, and some lunatic in a little Corsa, a little 1 litre Corsa, come flying up and just scrape straight down the side of me, mate.
Never.
Absolutely fuming. 6 years, no claims, gone straight out at window. My premiums went from 1,000 quid to 2,200 quid year after. And it's still taking me, it's like nearly a year later, and I guarantee I'll still be paying more next year. Do you know what I mean? So it'll take maybe 3 years just to get back to where I was. And yeah, just for somebody hitting and running.
It sits on your insurance for 3 years. Well, some's 3 years, some's 5 years, because we've just done our fleet insurance. That's it.
Yeah, I can imagine.
Mate, I'm paying £900 a month for 4 vehicles.
Wow.
So that's all right. That's not bad.
That's expensive.
I'm getting bent over. I need to speak to my guy, don't I?
Oh, yeah.
Well, I've got.
Well, this was in the chat, wasn't it? This
2
came up in the
vehicles
chat
on
the other day.
Thing, and yeah, so I'll have to. I don't know what I'm paying actually. I never really look. I'm sure it's less.
So I've got 2 vans, a truck, and a
It's over 200 quid a van per month, isn't it?
Well, I
900 quid a month.
Yeah, 900.
Oh
quid a
right,
month.
I thought you said a year.
No,
Oh, Jesus, that's
no,
amazing.
11 grand a year
11 grand a year
Yeah.
for 4 vehicles.
for 4 vehicles.
Okay.
But because we've just started fleet insurance,
Does that include your breakdown cover and like tool policy, or is that just, or is that
quid for the year? So that's not too bad. But that actually covers the tools on site as well. So if you're working on a site, you have a lockbox locked up and everything. They'll if your tools get nicked out of that, you can claim on insurance as well.
that does sound quite a bit of money, though, mate.
Yeah, but it's because the youngest driver's 23.
Oh yeah, you have to go over 25.
That's why.
Don't
Yeah.
you?
Yeah.
25.
Yeah. Me,
Over 200 quid a van per month's a lot of money, isn't it?
Seems a
no,
lot.
but I've been back. I had my apprentice.
Fuck apprentices.
We're not there yet. Calm down. We're all right.
Yeah.
That's later.
No, our assurance bill for him on the van for 1 month, each month was $290.
Fucking hell.
And my insurance is higher because I got 3 points last year.
I got 3 coming back from Peterborough after.
Did you?
After
not graduation.
after black tie.
That night.
50 and a 40.
Actually,
50
after graduation as well.
53 mile an hour in a 40, but it reduced down. Yeah, some roadworks going off.
I remember
It's everywhere now, isn't it?
a few years, like 4 years ago, I remember going through the Dartford Tunnel.
Yeah.
And I was saying to my mate that I don't ever speed in it, and I must have been speeding. I've done 75 in a 50, and they gave me speed awareness course. What a touch!
That's lucky.
I've never once been offered speed awareness.
Have you not?
No.
A few times.
I've got no point. I've got no points at the minute, and then they've just sent me this. So I'm going to see if I can ask for it or something, because I've never been given it, never been offered it.
No.
No.
So yeah, I only ever had one, and that was like about 2 years after I started.
They ain't had, but when you was young, they probably didn't have speed cameras, did you?
No, not on the side of the road. They weren't, mate. It was a copper hiding in an edge that got
Yeah, they
me.
used to hide in bushes.
They
and
still
trees.
do that though. They still do that though. Down my way,
Yeah.
they still do that. Or like the neighbour.
Tuck the sends in behind a tree or something.
Not on, is it?
The neighbourhood watch sitting
Buggers,
there
isn't they?
on a bend of a corner behind a tree.
Yeah. No, they're terrible. They are terrible. So we've had to shoot that one out.
I think
Yeah.
we could
We'll,
go for hours
we'll go on. So
Yeah.
let's have a see how everybody started and how on earth did we become these stupid people?
Yeah.
Stupid.
Full of anxiety because we're
stupid
spending a fortune.
stupid
every
busy.
month.
Don't be
Anxiety.
horrible about yourself, Stu.
So
I know, mate. Skint, broke people.
I mean, my desire to set up for myself was I've got a 5-year-old son now, and I missed like the first 6 months of his life through working for subbing to other companies, working away here, there, and everywhere, a week at a time. And seeing my newborn son 2 days a week, do you know what I mean? Missing more than half his first 6 months of his life when you meant to build a bond. And I just had enough. And then so I stopped working away and started working at home. Then you'd get divvy gaffers not ringing you till Sunday afternoon. I've got note for you this week, mate. You know what I mean? Well, I'm ringing you on a Friday so you can go and ring round and get some work for the week. I'd had enough, and I just thought, sod it, and it was start COVID. And I thought, sod it, I'm just going to go for it. Bought my own van, topped up on extra tools and what have you, and I just started it in Facebook, advertising and what have you, and before you knew it, I were 2 year in doing 30 plus bathrooms a year. That's how it started, really.
Was it as scary as you thought it was going to be?
No, because it was more out of necessity. No, because it was more out of a necessity of doing it. Do you know what I mean? Yeah, like if I were just to sit back and think, right, I'm just going to go and do it, it was more I had to do it or
Isn't it
carry on
amazing
being
how-
unhappy. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah. It's amazing how much motivation that gives you when you're
Oh yeah,
desperate.
yeah, definitely,
See,
definitely.
most people, it's the pressure that creates diamonds analogy, isn't it?
Yeah,
So
yeah.
If when you're under pressure, you've got no choice. You have to craft.
Well, I've got ADHD. I work best under pressure. And
Yeah,
when
100%.
when my back's to the wall and shit's about to hit fan,
Get
that's
stuff done.
that's when my brain slows down and comes up with solutions pretty quick. Do you know what I mean?
Everyone talks about like that leap of faith, don't they? And like how like daunting and stuff like that is. And like I feel like when like I talk to like my friends or like people we know and stuff like that, I was like, it's not actually that bad. And like when you do actually get it going at that beginning, yeah, it might be a little bit tough for the first year, but once you actually get that consistent work coming in,
You're
you
amazed.
find out. I remember our first year, I was just like, it's coming in like nothing. Like, you wouldn't expect it to come in. You think you'd be chasing and chasing.
Yeah,
and chasing
yeah,
all
and
the
it weren't.
time,
There were
and you
people
don't.
chasing you.
Yeah,
It's easier than you think.
Yeah.
And I feel like I wasted my whole 20s in a job, well up to like the age of 28, thinking that I always wanted to work for myself. I didn't want to answer to people. I didn't want to have 28 days a year and go on holiday when they told me to.
Yeah.
I wanted to have Christmas off. I used to work in cafe as a chef. I was while I was in college doing stuff, and it was just the hours were terrible. But yeah, it's that thing, isn't it? Of like once you're once you commit to doing it, it's amazing what you can do. You don't understand what you're capable of, you know.
Yeah, sometimes you just got to put yourself in a situation, aren't you?
Done.
It's like joint trade mastermind, spending all that money and then you've got every month being held accountable by Paul and whatever. It gives you that kick up arse to say, right, well, I've got to do it now. I've just
make yourself feel uncomfortable.
Just spent nearly 20 grand and I've got somebody every month asking me, well, how's it, you know what I mean, holding you accountable for things. I think that's why I joined one-to-one with Paul, you know, because
that's what I've done.
I know now every month Paul's going to be like, right, you paid for it, have you done them spreadsheets?
But you know what? Like, at the end of the day, like they talk about in like the training, like we've gone from being heating engineers, plumbers, bathroom fitters, whatever. Now you're going into the business thing, and it's like you're going back to college.
Yeah, you're learning a whole new skill set.
You have to do it that
and
way.
Everyone could have been in business for however long, but the little things they go down to, like the bits that we're missing, and like everyone knows like what it is.
Yeah.
Like it changes it massively.
Of course,
and
it
to
does.
have the one-to-one, like
basically have your hand held, and it's the accountability, I think, that's with me, you know, because I know each month.
It's just to you though. It's like it's all good, like being in the classroom and it's great and stuff like
Yeah.
that. But when you've just got you or you,
it's your business he's looking at for that full day.
You've got nowhere to hide, have you?
Yeah.
No.
And they go into your company and they absolutely structure it down to a T. So anything you're missing or you're mispricing stuff or your finance is wrong or anything, like that's where they kill it.
Well, it's education doesn't stop at school, and that's where most people at school teaches you how to get a job. And then you go to college and learn how to get a job. And it's kind of like, it felt like for me anyway, in particular, I was like, I'm not going to get to a point in my life where I want to be doing this. I don't want to be in a job. I don't want to be accountable to somebody else and that kind of thing. When you're talking about you have to go through being in a job, it's the cash flow quadrant. It's like that's the book that saved my life. I was driving trucks, 13 years ago. And it was just, I rang a pal of mine and he said, you don't sound good, mate. You sound depressed. I'm like, mate, I'm on the motorway 60 hours a week. It's miserable. And he's like, I'll send you some books. And he sent me a load of old school Brian Tracy stuff, Robert Kiyosaki. And that was just a university for me. And in sort of, I think it was maybe a few months, I walked out of my job with 400 quid in the bank. Because these books just give me so much motivation. I was like, I can do this, you know. Doing techniques like we were doing a bit earlier. Yeah. They are a bit crazy. Some of them Americanized, and it's all about sort of high-fiving each other and all that kind of stuff. But that's what got me out of working for someone. And in the first week when I quit my job, I earned more money just doing. I just went to handyman. I didn't know what I was going to do, so I couldn't fit a washing machine or anything. So I started fitting cat flaps, cleaning gutters. I sold my car. I had a jet ski at the time. I sold that. I just went, right, I've got money to keep me going. And I just jumped in, and I earned more money in that first week than I would have done in the whole week working 60 hours, and I probably only worked half that, just doing little jobs for people. Facebook page, you know, I'm doing this, anybody need a washing machine moving? I've got a little 600 quid van, and I just started like that, and then it just sort of snowballed from there. Plumbing sort of took over. My friend gave me an opportunity, George, thanks mate. He gave me an opportunity, and I learned plumbing within 9 months. I was going from not fitting a washing machine to fitting boilers within 9 months. And you think it's a college course for 5 years, don't you? And I was at the point where I could fit boilers.
It does when you're at 16 and you're leaving school. I think you're not in mentality. You haven't got the mentality to do it in 9 months. I don't think at 16.
No, well, it was that desperateness as well, wasn't it?
I do think at 16-year-old, how many apprentices you're not going to chuck them on a boiler at first year, are you? No. Because they're young.
To be fair,
they haven't got the mental capacity.
The only place I'd chuck him is out the van.
Yeah, at 60. Tuck and roll, bitch.